that, the former Toledo City Councilman will spend time behind bars. Gary Johnson is the last of 4 sentenced in connection to a bribery scandal, and lead investigator Brian Duggar, he was at the federal courthouse for us earlier today. He's got the story update for us. Brian?
Yeah, Gary Johnson could have received more than 2 years in prison. Instead, he was sentenced to 4 months in a minimum security federal prison.
Obviously, I'm relieved it's over.
With those words, former Toledo City Councilman Gary Johnson stepped into an uncertain future, having 14 days to consider an appeal and then needing to wait to see where he could serve a sentence. For the time he is likely to serve will be much shorter than it could have been, and that is largely because of the same jury that convicted him. In June, the jury delivered a letter to Judge Jeffrey Helmick after finding Johnson guilty of 1 extortion count. Part of the note read, "We believe Gary is an honest, genuine person with good intentions who was caught up in a bad situation."
I think the note held a good amount of weight. I think the note reflected the challenges that this jury or any jury would face in a case like this.
Johnson was accused of accepting 2 bribes in exchange for positive votes on planned internet cafes. The jury acquitted him of 1 count involving a $1,000 check, but convicted him of illegally taking $2,000 in cash to help fund his campaign for sheriff. Johnson claims it was a campaign contribution, something his lawyers believe could be a basis for an appeal.
We're talking about campaign contributions, which are constitutionally protected conduct, and they may be unpopular. In fact, a lot of social sciences suggested that people do find it unpopular, but it is constitutionally protected and it's the core of our democracy.
Johnson's lawyers were hoping for probation, but Judge Helmick said prison was necessary because of the loss of public trust in elected officials and because Johnson made no attempt to return the money until after he was charged. The former councilman broke down in court, saying he's lost his business and the trial embarrassed his family. Outside the courtroom, he expressed regret.
I just regret the whole episode, that the harm that it caused everybody.
Now, the 3 other former council members in this bribery investigation, Larry Sykes, Tyrone Riley, and Yvonne Harper, are currently serving prison sentences. Like Johnson, Sykes was sentenced to 4 months, and he will be the first to be released on April 12th.
Brian, a couple of questions for you. How important was that letter in Johnson's sentence?
Yeah, the judge, who's been a bench judge for 11 and a half years, says he has never seen a personal letter like that from a jury. Now, prosecutors wanted 21 to 27 months, and the sentencing guidelines were 12 to 18. He got 4, so I believe it actually played a really big role.
And when could Johnson actually go to prison?
Right. He has a right to appeal within the next 14 days. If he waives that right, it'll likely be a minimum of 60 days before the Federal Bureau prison system actually processes him and before he has to surrender. So it'll still be several months. Reporting in studio, it's Brian Duggar for WTUL.